Thank you very much, Adrian. Yes, welcome to the back of the East Stand at Stamford Bridge, the oldest stadium in the Premier League, from where we will view the youngest team in the division. Not a single thing remains from when the stadium opened in 1877 as the home of the London Athletic Club. Chelsea are quite happy to rip things up and start again. But after 5 games without a win, the bridge finds itself over troubled water. Chelsea have picked up 43% of their points here at home. It's the worst share in the league. Enzo Maresca predicted they wouldn't win the title. Anybody who's followed them closely would have told you that. But a failure to win tonight, and Forest City, Newcastle, Bournemouth and Aston Villa will start thinking about ruining their top 4 ambitions too. They should beat Wolves, who, if you were looking at goals conceded per game, have statistically the worst defence in the league. But then again, Chelsea's recent results have seen them lose to Fulham and Ipswich and drop points at Palace and Everton. They've made 5 changes. Trevor Chalobah is back from his loan at Crystal Palace and straight into the team. They start with Sanchez in goal, James Chalobah, Adebayo and Mark Cucurella. Dewsbury Hall makes his first Premier League start alongside Moises Caicedo in midfield. Palmer is fit, which is good news for Chelsea. Madueke, Jackson and Neto, the 3-pronged attack. No Enzo Fernandez, he's not even on the bench. No Colwill either. It's 3 changes for Wolverhampton Wanderers. You just heard the reception for Trevor Chalobah, by the way. A very healthy reception for the returning central defender. 3 changes for Wolverhampton Wanderers. Jose Sarr is their goalie. It's Matt Doherty, Santiago Bueno and Emmanuel Agbadou. Semedo, Gomez, Andre and Aït-Nouri through the middle, with Sarabia and Cunha supporting Jurgen Strand Larsen in attack. Our referee today, by the way, is Simon Hooper. Our VAR is Matt Donoghue. And Cole Palmer's name gets a hefty response as well, as you would imagine. He became the first Chelsea player since Cesc Fabregas to register a hat-trick of assists in the meeting between these two earlier in the season. Well, the two teams are switching ends at the start of the first half, with Chelsea being asked to shoot towards the Matthew Harding stand at the beginning of the game, which is not something they do very often. Our referee Simon Hooper just waiting for the 2 sets of players to come out of their second huddles. Actually, they've done 1 in each half since turning around. Remember, tomorrow night we've got Champions League action for you from TalkSport 2, Monaco against Aston Villa. Wednesday night, a choice of listening, both Manchester City and Arsenal in action. It's really tight as well in the Champions League. There's a big job on the hands of Chelsea and Wolverhampton Wanderers tonight. Chelsea must win to go back into the top 4. Wolves can put 3 points between them and the bottom 3 with a victory. Danny Murphy is here. Palmer is in the team. Chelsea star man is fit. Just about. How do Wolves stop him from running the show?
Well, it's the job of the 2 central midfielders to never leave him alone. You're better letting any of the other people on the pitch have the ball than him. He's that wonderful with it.
Nicholas Jackson has already found him in the early few seconds of the game, with Chelsea in blue shirts, blue shorts, white socks, attacking the goal away to our right. Pedro Neto's produced a cross into the box. It's towards Jackson and flicked away by Aït-Nouri, who was stationed in front of him on the edge of the 6-yard area and glanced it behind for the first corner of the game. Fast start.
Good cross on his weak foot, actually, from Neto. I seem to recall being here with you for an Everton game where they spun them round early as well and they ended up losing 6.
Yes. That was back in, I think, April last year. Corner kick on the near side to be taken by Reece James. Let's hope there's as much entertainment tonight as there was when the 2 teams shared 8 goals in August. In fact, the last 3 meetings, Danny, have seen 17 goals between Chelsea and Wolves. Here is Reece James with the corner from the near side in front of the Matthew Harding end. It's in towards the penalty spot, flicked on by Chalobah and back across the face of goal to Nicholas Jackson, who was falling when he hit that on the volley, didn't catch it right, and it's into the arms of Jose Sarr.
A little bit worrying. Won the first header and also Jackson free on the back post.
Well, Jackson scored after 98 seconds against Wolves in August. He almost scored even quicker there.
The first half of the game at Molineux was really competitive, wasn't it? It was only the second half when he really pulled away from them.
Yeah, Chelsea powered away. A very quick hat-trick from Noni Madueke in that game as well, who is in the team today on the right-hand side. He did have a couple of games over the Christmas period where he was ignored by the manager. He's on the ball now, getting inside the full-back. Aït-Nouri, he's out-muscled him, got beyond him into the penalty area, and then he was lucky enough to be greeted by Santiago Bueno, who doubled up, and Ryan Aït-Nouri was got out of a bit of a hole by his central defender there, because Madueke was shrugging off Aït-Nouri and causing problems.
Well, it was an amazing pass from Reece James. Just a quick snippet of his ability. Just a lovely little laces, perfect weight with a bit of fade. Madueke's take was beautiful as well. Good defend, good cover from Bueno.
Well, Chelsea have started well. They've not won in the league for over a month, and with a tough batch of fixtures to come, it's imperative that they put a win on the board here. Palmer sweeps it out to Madueke, who cuts in on his left foot, tried to do too much and then ran into traffic, lost the ball, and Wolves have got it inside their own half. Well, they haven't been out of that so far, and we've played 2.5 minutes here on Talk Sport, high up in the East Stand on a chilly night in West London. The ball clipped forward by Aït-Nouri. It's aimless, and it'll go all the way through to Robert Sanchez away to our left-hand side. 0-0.
You see, I struggle a little bit with balls like that, because you've got a giant of a striker who you can clip it into his chest, and they just played it in behind.
Neto getting some joy down that left-hand side and just double hits the ball, and Doherty then is able to grab hold of it and turn it out for a thrown over on the far side. But Wolves look far too open in the opening 3 minutes, Danny.
They do. A little bit nervy as well.
Throw in to be taken by Cucurella, who tosses the ball in towards Neto. He gets first contact on it, despite the fact there were two bigger defenders around him, but he helps it only into the arms of Jose Sarr. Ball sent long for Cunha. He's got the better of James just momentarily. James did enough to get back, and that was arguably a back pass to Sanchez, but the referee's not going to pull him up for it. Sanchez bowls it out to James and then on to Palmer, who then fends it out towards the left-hand side. Cucurella gallops over into the left channel inside Wolves' half, works it wide onto Pedro Neto, into Palmer, now Caicedo. Space on this near side now for Madueke. Chelsea moving the ball quickly, and that's unsettling Wolves. Still Madueke has the ball back into Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall. His cross is a deep one towards the far post, and it could fall to Neto. It doesn't. It's hoiked away by Semedo and then further clear by Doherty, and out for a corner over on the far side. But Chelsea are finding their groove.
Great ball in from the right hand side. Dewsbury-Hall whipping one in swinger to the back. Good defending again, but too easy for Chelsea to get up the pitch. Just before that, Reece James deserves great credit, because his pace to keep himself, to stop Matheus Cunha from having one-on-one, was player who's not played that much recently, looked really sharp.
Chelsea have had 4 goal attempts. We've played 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Corner on the far side. Watch Tosin Adarabioyo here. He's just trotted over to have a word with Neto. He's about to take this corner over on the far side. He'll hit it left-footed. It'll be an out swinger aimed towards the middle of the park. It goes over Tosin's head, falls to Aït-Nouri, and he now scurries forward at rapid pace, which we know he can do. He's got Sarabia to his left. Aït-Nouri's got space to run into. They've all backed off him, and he's still going. Aït-Nouri to the edge of the penalty area, pokes it wide to the left, collected now by Sarabia. Sarabia needed another option. He's checked back now and gone into midfield, and Andre has it deep for Wolverhampton Wanderers. But Chelsea there backed off Aït-Nouri and invited him to run at their defence.
It was a good counter, but he made the wrong choice. Bueno, although he's a centre-half, he was one-on-one with Palmer. The ball was the other way.
0-0. Wolves have always been a threat. On our last Monday Night Football, they could boast the fact that they'd scored in 17 of the 19 Premier League games they played until that point. No one else had a better record at that moment, but since then they've managed to draw blanks back-to-back in the Premier League. But they're coming forward here. Strand Larsen, what a tackle from the wrong side by Chalobah, who read that perfectly and then poked out his right leg and whipped the ball from under Jurgen Strand Larsen, who was threatened to get beyond him.
No, he's hurt himself. Hopefully he's okay, because it was a wonderful tackle. Great move from Wolves, all started by that man Matheus Cunha. He was on the right side of the pitch, going nowhere. Lovely bit of interchange to play. Got himself free, played the ball through, and it looked like Larsen was going to be in, but what a recovery tackle from Chalobah.
Well, he stepped on Chalobah's foot, that was the problem. And he has hurt Trevor Chalobah, who I do hope is not significantly injured as a result of that. But Strand Larsen stepped on his foot. Here's Tosin Adarabioyo deep in the Chelsea back line to James, out wide to Dewsbury-Hall. Then on to the near touchline where Madueke is waiting. Those blanks that Wolves have drawn in the last couple of games have been coincided with the absence of Matthias Cunha, who was suspended first and then ended up with an illness which meant that he wasn't rushed back.
That little bit of play though there, just had every tight situation, saw the pass, got it back, used his pace and his power, then saw the pass. Everything about it was exceptional.
A little nudge from Jackson on the defender on this near side, and Agbadou goes to ground. I was reading an interesting stat about Agbadou, that he's more of a sort of ball-playing centre-half than he is a sort of aerial physical presence.
Just what you need when you've conceded the most goals in the Premier League then, eh?
Yeah.
Another ball-playing centre-half.
He does clip it long, up towards Strand Larsen, away by Chalobah, who heads it clear. It's on by Semedo into Strand Larsen, but again, Chalobah is there, and this time Strand Larsen kicks him in the head. And it's going to be a free kick on the edge of the box for Trevor Chalobah and Chelsea. 7.5 minutes gone, it's Chelsea 0, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0. Chelsea have gone from firmly being in the battle with Liverpool and Arsenal to being 13 points adrift of the leaders in double quick time. But they were never really going to challenge for the title. A lot of that's down to the fact that they've got a terrible defensive record. I mentioned it earlier, 2 clean sheets in the last 16 Premier League games. They've chopped and changed at the back. In fact, this is the 5th central defensive partnership that they've fielded in the last 9 games. Here is Madueke down the right-hand side, looking to get beyond Aït-Nouri. He gets onto his left foot, produces a cross in towards Cucurella, who's rising and flicked away by Doherty, who watched it well, and it goes out the other side of the penalty area to the left-hand side, and Pedro Neto, who continues to attack against his former team Wolves. Palmer, back to Chalobah, then to Cucurella, back to Chalobah again, now Tosin Adarabioyo trying to flick it to the right. This is James now, looking to edge it into the path of Madueke, who runs up to Aït-Nouri and then turns again and goes on the outside, and he's beaten him. He's got a chance to cross here. The cross is deflected towards the far post. Jose Sarr is watching it and grabs it as it drops out of the sky, and he pulls it into his chest and he'll clear away. 0-0.
Aït-Nouri's got a problem if he's going to play that narrow. When you play in a 5, if you're too narrow and the ball's easily switched to the winger, he's going to have one-on-ones with him all evening. You don't want that. He's had his position's been wrong. If he'd have just got out there more quickly, because he's got the third centre-half behind him, he doesn't need to think twice.
Well, you're listening to Chelsea 0, Wolves 0 on TalkSport with Sky Sports. Don't forget you can stream the biggest Premier League games available on no contract with Now, like Chelsea versus Wolves, live right now. Search Now Sports. This is TalkSport. 5:45 tomorrow. It'll be Monaco against Aston Villa on TalkSport 2. Wednesday night, Manchester City and Arsenal both in action. What about Thursday night? Rangers against Manchester United at Old Trafford. Yeah, that's live and free, only on TalkSport. Ball out on this near side. Ball dribbles into the right corner of the field, and it's picked up by Chelsea's Madueke. 10 minutes gone. Victor Pereira had a really good start to life as Wolverhampton Wanderers boss, but I think his honeymoon against Leicester, Manchester City and Tottenham came crashing down. After what was a really good start, he did well against those 3 teams, and then they faced the quality of Forest and Newcastle, and it was a coming back down to earth of epic proportions. I think that probably provides a little bit of context actually about the way where the team is, because I think most people could have got Wolves up for a result against those 3 teams, whereas coming against the Champions League quality of Forest and Newcastle possibly sort of gave them the measure. Here is Madueke crossing the ball in towards the 18-yard box. It takes a flick off the defender and goes out on the left-hand side. Neto tries to return it. He does so brilliantly towards Jackson. Goalkeeper comes out, drops kindly for Dewsbury Hall. He can't finish. It's in a tangle on the edge of the 6-yard box. He still might come away with it. He's now gone down. The referee said play on Simon Hooper, and it's eventually cleared from the right full-back position by Nelson Semedo. Well, it was a bit of a mess in front of the Wolves goalkeeper.
It was, but it was another good ball in from Neto's weak foot. You know, he's overshowing him inside, and he's saying, go on, then I'll put it in on my right foot. It was a good ball in from him, surprisingly.
0-0. Chelsea have had a lot of chances so far. They had a lot of chances in the Bournemouth game and didn't take them. two quality ones as well. Here is Madueke moving up towards the right angle of the penalty area. He's got Aït-Nouri on the back foot. Square is Dewsbury Hall. He goes to the other side and finds Neto instead. Neto trying to take on Semedo, produces a cross left-footed towards the far post. It's fallen for Madueke. He's taken it down, then sent it back to Palmer. Palmer trying to tease it into the far corner, but he couldn't get enough whip on it to bring it back inside the post, and it goes narrowly wide of the goal, away to our right, and it's out for a goal kick to Wolverhampton Wanderers. 12 minutes gone, Chelsea dominant, 0-0.
Wing backs are too narrow. They're too cautious. You can't. The reason you play three centre halves so the wing backs can stop crosses and get out to the wide men. Both wide men are causing problems for Wolves because the wing backs are far too narrow when they're defending. You don't need to be. Someone needs to organise that. I'm not sure why the coach hasn't, or the manager or the coach, whoever's actually shouting onto them. You can't give them that much time, especially two players of that quality.
Yeah, we mentioned Wolves' form in the games against Newcastle and Nottingham Forest taking a bit of a hit. I think their longer range form gives you an indication of their level. 2 wins in their last 17 Premier League games away from home. This is Tosin. Forward to Palmer. Palmer to Dewsbury Hall. We've seen a bit of the ball in the opening 12 and a half minutes of the game. Dewsbury Hall making his first Premier League start for Chelsea. He's been rarely used in the Premier League actually this season. Tonight his 16th appearance for the Blues, but he's been very lightly raced. This is Tosin into Cucurella, tried to nudge it round the corner, but it was well met by Santiago Bueno. Chelsea won it back through James, who read the situation and dealt with it before it developed into a dangerous one.
He looks sharp, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, he has been out for a long time, but they've nursed him back very slowly. It's good to see him playing again because he is certainly an incredible talent. Here is Madueke on the right hand side, taking it down and taking on Aït-Nouri, beating him, cross into the box again. It's just over Cucurella's head and goes out to the far side. Chalobah keeps it alive in towards Palmer. Palmer back out to the left again, tries to give it to Neto. Neto looks to take on Semedo, back to Palmer once more. Only Jackson really to aim at in the centre, and Neto made a good run down the left hand side, wasn't spotted by Palmer. He came inside instead, midway inside the Wolves half of the field. Now Dewsbury Hall just pulls off to the right, gives it to Madueke, who's hugging the touchline, works it onto his left foot, produces a cross, flicked into the air by Santiago Bueno, and then James will win the header. It'll drop loose inside the Wolves half, and Madueke is trying to escape. The referee's allowed that to go, despite the fact that it looked a little bit physical, and Chelsea now have to do a bit of defending, and Strand Larsen's held it up well into Sarabia, surrounded by Caicedo and Dewsbury Hall. Caicedo got a touch on it, but it's won back by the Wolves midfield. Agbadou and Aït-Nouri have it on this left-hand side, but the pressure is on from Nicholas Jackson, and he thinks that should be a corner. I think it's going to be a goal kick.
Yeah, it was a goal kick. Madueke's causing Aït-Nouri all sorts of problems because he skinned him when he had him one-on-one before, and then now he's sat off and then he's just whipping crosses, and he's going to have to liven up in terms of his defensive work. Aït-Nouri, is going to be a long evening for him.
Well, in the end against Bournemouth, Chelsea required a Reece James free kick to rescue a draw, but they were dominant in that first half an hour. I must admit, I was watching the game and I thought, crikey, if they play like this for the rest of the season, they've got a great chance of getting into the top 2 or 3. But the issue, and it has been the case with Chelsea, they haven't been able to put 90-minute performances together, and they open the door again for Bournemouth. So they've got to get themselves in front here, and they've got to try and sustain the pressure that they've started with. 15 gone, 0-0. Palmer, centre circle. Caicedo, back to James. James out to Madueke. Madueke then helps it on, and Dewsbury Hall is now running down the right. He's in behind João Gomez, who's trying to catch up with him. Does well actually, João Gomez. Robs him of the ball and gives it to Agbadou. And then it goes out towards João Gomez again, and then Agbadou will clear upfield. Good ball into Strand Larsen. He couldn't control it. Bounces off him and goes out of play on this near side.
It was a great ball. You've got to do better. That's what he's there for. It was a decent ball up, straight as a die. Get hold of it. Get it on thigh, chest, whatever you need. Protective for your team.
Here is Chalobah, just short of the halfway line. Wearing gloves tonight, bright orange boots, and looks pretty comfortable back in a Chelsea shirt. He has spent most of his life in a Chelsea shirt, to be fair. He's 25 now. He's been playing for Chelsea since he was 8. Here he is on the ball again. Into Tosin. Forward, into the path of Palmer, who looks to release Jackson. Didn't quite get there the first time. It was repelled by the defence. Comes back to Palmer, who then comes back into the box and then shoots left-footed. It's spilled by the goalkeeper. There's no one there to finish it off. Comes back out as far as Caicedo, and he overhits the ball as he looks to try and play the pass down to Madueke. But that was a good chance for Cole Palmer.
Well, what was great about it was obviously the pass to get Chelsea out was superb from Tosin. But when Palmer gets into this area, he's really patient. He waits, he looks for the pass to the left, he waits to see what the defender's going to do. He's so calm. And then the strike was really good save from Sarr to the bottom corner. Now he's injured apparently, the keeper.
Overextended himself as he went to try and save. He's got a bit of an ankle issue here. He's pointing to, away to our right-hand side.
We're seeing this more and more, aren't we, with goalkeepers?
Timeouts, unofficial timeouts, because the problem here is that what happens is that the goalkeeper goes down. Unlike with the outfield players, if you go and ask for treatment, then you have to go off for 30 seconds. That doesn't happen if you're a goalkeeper, obviously, because you can't.
It's just, I don't really know the answer, other than if you think it's a how do you know whether it's
fake? You don't.
That's the problem.
You don't.
I mean, I know it was Championship, but the Burnley with Trafford, twice he did it and he should have been off, shouldn't he? You know, that was ridiculous.
Tomorrow, we've got Monaco against Aston Villa for you, TalkSport 2. If you want to listen to TalkSport 2, you just download our app. You can flip between both the stations. There's loads of stuff on that app, by the way. Some really good podcasts and other bits and pieces as well. Look, he's doing a little jump away to our right now. Jose Sarr, that's a good fitness test. Adrian is taking you around the grounds with Danny Mills, Dean Ashton and Mickey Gray tomorrow night. He's going to be at Anfield with all the goals as they go in from the Champions League and the EFL. Liverpool Lille's that night, Derby Sunderland, Swansea Sheffield United. I was at Leeds yesterday. Leeds getting a good victory at home. Away from home they haven't been as good, but Sheffield United certainly right up there and pushing them all the way for promotion back to the Premier League. Swansea against Sheffield United is live on TalkSport 2 tomorrow as well. And then Wednesday night PSG take on Manchester City. The boys in Paris, Adrian Durham, Jim Proudfoot, Stuart Pearce, and Arsenal against Dinamo Zagreb is on TalkSport 2 at the same time.
They've swapped already. Aït-Nouri and Semedo.
Yes, and Semedo's come out towards this near side. Maybe that's what that timeout was all about.
Well, he must have been listening to TalkSport down there in the dugout.
You'd be surprised how many managers do. Arne Slot is a regular listener. I've spoken to him about it. Ruben Amorim absolutely loves TalkSport.
Well, it doesn't.
Not sure he loved it this morning, listening to Martin Keown and Simon Jordan, but I'm sure he does like the output.
I think that's a clever little move. A really clever move, because Aït-Nouri was struggling big time, and it doesn't take a rocket science to see that it was inevitably going to end in a goal or more chances, so it's a good swap.
Well, Chelsea have had 72% of the possession so far. They've had 7 goal attempts, 2 shots on target, 3 shots off target, 2 block shots and 1 big chance so far in the game.
What was the big chance?
That was probably the Nicholas Jackson at the far post.
I wouldn't call that a big chance.
Okay, well, maybe you should apply for a job at Opta and then you can change the definition of big chance.
Oh, I thought you were saying you thought it was a big chance.
No, I'm just reading it off of the statistics sheet.
I don't think it was a big chance.
Okay, well, you've given your view. Good. That's what you're here for.
How many people who work at Opta have played as many games as me? Anyway.
Here is Semedo trying to get the ball into the Chelsea half. Caicedo gets it away, and then it's been picked up by Madueke, who's challenged. It goes out for a throw-in on this near side. We've played 20 minutes. You're listening to TalkSport. Tosin Adarabioyo under pressure from Cunha. We haven't seen anything of Wolves really as an attacking force, but Chelsea have given them a chance to do so now, because Sanchez has given the ball away to Sarabia. Here's Aït-Nouri. He's got Sarabia to his right. He took a long time to feed it back out to Sarabia. And since then, Chelsea have got everyone back behind the ball. Ooh. And now Nicholas Jackson has pitched it off Doherty, and he's got a whole half to run into, and he's got 3 arriving in support. Jackson moves into the penalty area. He's overrun the ball, but it still might come to Palmer, who picks it up on the edge of the 18-yard box. He's got 3 at the back post if he can find them. It's aimed towards Pedro Neto, who chests it down, hoists it back into the centre, away by Doherty, and Chelsea not precise enough with their chances. That was a great opportunity to make the most of it. They still might get another opportunity here. It's Pedro Neto, right side of the penalty area, backing off towards the edge of the boxes. And João Gomes. Well, Neto's gone down.
Dive.
And he's done too many of those over the course of the season, and Simon Hooper is wise to it. He says play on, the counter-attack is on for Wolves. It's coming towards his left-hand side. Cunha to Sarabia, back to Cunha again. He's got outside him Ait-Nouri joining up now, but he uses him as a way post and then shoots miles wide from the edge of the box. He used Ait-Nouri as a decoy and then went for goal himself because Cucurella just ran out of the way to give him the space to do it, and it went well wide of the goal.
Well, initially great play from Jackson because his closing down's brilliant, but then he's in Oceans. They've got an overload on the back post, but his touch lets him down. He's running too quick. He needed to slow himself up so he could look up. Then the counter-attack for Wolves. I thought Cunha made the right choice. I thought he used the decoy run well, gave himself the space, but was just leaning back and pulled it past the post. But it's livening up a bit. You want to see a bit more from Wolves doing that.
What Cunha did was right. He didn't execute it right. What he did was right. But should Cucurella have fallen for that? Was that the right thing for Cucurella to? Because he backed off and allowed Cunha to then have the space.
I think it's a difficult one. I think you're always better protecting the goal and leaving it to go wide. I would have stayed where I was.
Dewsbury Hall backed on the halfway line to Tosin. Infield to Chalobah. He clips it down the left-hand side, looking for Neto. Oh, the goalkeeper has come out, and Doherty tried to head it back to him and completely missed it. And then Doherty had to rescue it inside the 6-yard box because it gone way past Jose Sarr, who'd gone out for a hot dog.
Well, I think he's saying he didn't hear the shout. It's decent ball from Chalobah, trying to get Neto in behind. Doherty just tries to head it back, but head it back.
Spent too much time down south, mate.
Yeah, and then they get away with it though.
Just about. 23. It's still 0-0. I don't know how it's still 0-0.
Because there's been no big chances.
Here's the corner in towards the penalty spot. Comes back out to Reece James, who hits it. Then it falls inside the box to Tosin. He puts it home, but the offside flag was up. Tosin Adarabioyo is wagging his finger, but the referee immediately blew his whistle after the assistant flagged on the near side. I must admit, we all sort of hesitated because we thought he was offside, but let's see, having a look back at the monitor.
Oh! He's on.
I don't think he is on offside.
No, there's somebody at the back stick playing him on. I think he's on.
And the deflection comes off of a Wolves player, right? So when he does look as if he's in an offside position, it's because it's had a deflection off of a Wolves player. I think this is going to be onside.
Well, no, it doesn't matter about the deflection because he's on anyway.
Because he's onside when the initial ball is played.
I think it might be Cunha.
Well, they are checking this through VAR. Matt Donoghue, who's back at Stockley Park, is just checking. They're now just checking to see whether or not there was any infringement in the initial corner. Did it go out before it came back in? That, I think, is okay. The ball is flicked out to James. He doesn't handle it. He hits it edge of the 18-yard box. The deflection comes off a Wolves player into Tosin Adarabioyo. I think he's onside there. Onside. He controls it, turns, and just prods it past the goalkeeper. He was pretty certain early on that he wasn't offside. He wagged his finger at Simon Hooper, and this could be a Chelsea goal. Simon Hooper just waiting for instruction from Matt Donoghue. We've had a look at the monitor. We think he's onside, and he is. Chelsea 1, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0. Tosin Adarabioyo gets his 4th goal of the season, and it was a terrific finish, really. Very calm inside the box. He was pretty certain that he was in an onside position. He was, controlled it, turned and fired it in past Sarr for 1-0.
It is Mateus Cunha, doesn't come out from the back. They came out nicely together, the rest of the Wolves players. That's all it takes, just a moment to switch off, not thinking. I'm not a big fan of teams coming out on corners anyway. I think you till the ball's gone, you protect the goal. I've always believed that. I've had many discussions over the years about that sentiment. when the ball goes out, you can get a yard or two, but when you're always going to get one who forgets, one who just drops a little bit deeper.
But Danny, it's a systemic failure from Wolverhampton Wanderers,
plays, yeah.
because in terms of set plays, they have now conceded 18 goals from dead ball situations in the league alone this season, which is the most of any side. And it's another dead ball goal. And Chelsea are alive. They lead by a goal to nil. Tosin Adarabioyo striking it home after 27 minutes. There was a brief delay, but it's one that was rectified by the VAR and given as a Chelsea goal. 1-0.
Took an age for them. You could see it by a country mile on the replay.
You can't work for us, Opta, the BBC and PGMOL. You can't do it all, Dan.
I would for the right money.
Yes, I have heard that about you. Here is Cucurella.
Oh, don't you start.
Neto over in the far corner. Ball helped back.
No, it was pretty obvious to the eye though, wasn't it? I know they had to check, did he touch his hand and all that, but it was a good yard.
Here is the goal scorer, Tosin, striding forward, poking it to the right, giving it to Dewsbury Hall, into Caicedo. What will encourage Wolverhampton Wanderers is that the Blues, who dropped 2 points from winning positions in their first 17 league matches under Enzo Maresca, have since lost 7 points in their subsequent 4 games. So it's become a habit that they've given away leads, and they're on the back foot here with Semedo getting down the left, and James has to come across and poke the ball behind and away for a corner kick to Wolves, their first of the game. 28 gone, Chelsea 1, Wolves 0.
Another piece of good defending that was. Really impressed with Rhys James. Looks super sharp.
Corner to be taken by Cunha on the near side, 28 gone, and it will be aimed in towards Santiago Bueno and Jurgen Strand-Larsen and Dagger Badu, who are causing a few problems inside that penalty. They look like they're doing the Agadoo, don't they? Jumping up and down inside there. And Simon Huber's not happy, so he's gone over and stared to them both. Hands up.
I don't get this constant going over and telling players what they're doing. Just stand where you are, and if you see a foul, give the foul.
Yeah,
He's doing it again.
They're doing it again. There's just hands everywhere, pushing and shoving.
But I don't. Why? These are professional referees who are there to dish out the law, to make decisions.
Not advise in advance.
Not advise how to behave and when you should and shouldn't do things, and be careful, don't do this, don't do that. Blow your whistle if there's a penalty or a foul, done.
Ball into the near post. Terrible delivery by Cunha. Goes straight into the side netting.
Every game I'm seeing it though. More and more.
It's a little bit unnecessary, isn't it? Just get on with the game. And the more you stop and start and give them warnings, it gives them licence to do it because they know they're going to get a warning first.
Yeah. Just give the pen or give the foul.
Enzo Maresca actually was... he's a bit straight. He's not the warmest of characters. He's a bit blunt at times. He took aim at the PGMOL this week when he said that they should be embarrassed by some of the decisions that have been made in the recent run that Chelsea have had. He wasn't happy about the fact that Neto didn't get a penalty when Mitchell brought him down in the game with Palace. He wasn't happy that David Brooks escaped a red card last Wednesday night. Here is Cucurella. Well, Jackson's made a decent run there, but it took too long for Cucurella to pass the ball forward, and then when he played it wide left, he completely missed Neto.
Yeah, he's not having his best half an hour, Cucurella. He's given away a ball 3 or 4 times. I suppose he's allowed a bad game. He's been pretty good most of the season.
Chelsea lead by a goal to nil. Ball long and high up to Strand-Larsen. He heads it straight back to Palmer, and Chelsea look to build once again. They've had 28% of the ball, Wolverhampton Wanderers, in this game. Chelsea 72% of it. They lead by a goal to nil. This is James motoring up on the right-hand side. Dewsbury Hall is playing a little bit further forward. They're almost playing with one sort of deep-line midfield player in Caicedo. Dewsbury Hall's had licence to roam a bit. Palmer usually just does what he wants. He's so good and effective on the ball. But when you've got 3 defenders like James, Tosin and Chalobah, who are quite happy to swing round and make up a 3 when in possession of the ball, it means they can build up with an extra body in midfield, and Cucurella trying to make that up as well. Here is Caicedo into Madueke, now onto Dewsbury Hall, who floats it beautifully out to the far side, taken onto his chest by Neto. Neto runs up to Aït-Nouri, comes on the inside, then looks to hand it off, but then hesitates and turns and goes back the other way. Chalobah, Cucurella, Back to Chalobah again. Palmer drops off and wants the ball. Didn't get it from Chalobah. Does get it now from Tosin. Wants it again. Looks to turn. Strand Larsen goes to engage. They're in the centre circle here, Chelsea. Just prodding the ball around and keeping possession with 14 to go before the break. This is Dewsbury Hall out wide to Madueke now. Looking to take on Semedo. Comes on the inside. Then tries to take on João Gomes. There's a foul by him on Madueke. Free kick to Chelsea. 5 yards back from the angle of the penalty area on this right-hand side.
It was nice and patient actually from Chelsea. Probing, looking for the openings, switching the ball, moving it nice and quickly. A little bit unlucky there, Gomez.
It's Chelsea 1, Wolves 0, and for the latest odds you can head over to Ladbrokes, where right now you can get Chelsea to win the game at 13-2 on, 16-1 the draw. Wolves' victory is 14-1. That's all thanks to Ladbrokes, 18+, begambleaware.org. Here's the free kick for Chelsea on the near touchline. He's got Jackson in there, Chalobah, who actually had a really good sort of purple patch towards the end of his spell at Crystal Palace, where he scored 2 goals in his final 3 appearances for the Eagles. He's just lurking with intent. Tosin in there as well. Neto and James standing over it. Again, more pushing, shoving and histrionics as the ball goes into the penalty area. Easily headed away by Bueno. Collected by Jackson far side. And then here is Madueke on the other side of the pitch, producing a cross into the box, away by Doherty. Comes down as far as Caicedo, encouraged to shoot. He does, it's blocked by Bueno, then back in by Palmer towards this near side, but it's just a little bit overhit, and it goes behind and away for a goal kick away to our right-hand side. So it's still 1-0 to Chelsea, the goal coming from Tosin after just half an hour. And I'm delighted to say that Gary Barlow is here. Look at that. I mean, that's proper star quality.
Oh yeah, love a bit of Gary Barlow.
Dear, take that.
Went to see him live in concert. Him and an array of his musical friends many years ago. It was a great evening at the Royal Albert Hall.
Yeah, lovely, very posh.
Yeah.
Did you pay for those tickets or did you get them free?
I did pay. No, I got a box actually. Yeah, many when I could afford one years ago. Yeah.
Here is Aït-Nouri back to Sarabia. Infield to João Gomes. Over to the far side. Aït-Nouri has it again. He runs up to the edge of the penalty area. Supposed to lay it off. I was going to say, I don't think I've ever been to the Albert Hall, but I think I have once.
I think he's a Liverpool fan, you know.
Is he?
I think so. Maybe I've got that wrong. I remember meeting him in the lounge at Anfield many, many years ago, but maybe my memory's going, I don't know.
Semedo into Santiago Bueno, then back to Jose Sá, who kicks it long and clear, but the header from Tosin was well timed, and then Madueke didn't get his flick on right, and it goes back to Sá again, who kicks it right through the middle of the pitch. Again, Tosin gets there ahead of Strand Larsen, who hasn't really got into the game, nor of Wolves really, but they might do now. Here's João Gomes playing it left to Semedo. Semedo moving up towards the edge of the penalty area. James is watching him, still keeping him at arm's length from the box. It's back to João Gomes. Centrally is Andre back to João Gomes. Caicedo comes and he puts pressure on João Gomes, and he's forced back to halfway, and Agbadou.
It was good pressure that from Caicedo. Really disciplined, but really tenacious, really good.
Here on the right hand side, Sarabia for Wolves, coming forward looking for an equaliser before half time. Sarabia flicks it into the box. Aït-Nouri comes across. Chalobah, brilliant, just dabs it away. The offside flag went up anyway, but it was a brilliant challenge.
It was. Anticipation was really good from Chalobah. It's better from Wolves. Little give and go from Aït-Nouri. He's a yard off, but he still doesn't know that at the time. Chalobah just reads it really nicely, gets his foot in.
You're listening to Chelsea against Wolves live on TalkSport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Enterprise has 450 branches with all the vehicles your business needs. Back here at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea certainly coming up with the goods so far. Maybe they'll be disappointed they haven't created more big chances.
Yeah, I agree.
Caicedo loses the ball and then wins it back. I mean, look at that challenge. That was superb. He's hurt himself in the process, though, Caicedo. Yes. And he might be quite badly hurt here. He's down and writhing in agony. And Palmer, who's got the ball in the centre of the park, hasn't noticed that yet. He's still going. He's wandered past 3 players. He's now seen it, and he's kicking the ball out because he knows that Moises Caicedo needs some treatment. Well, he won the ball back in the middle of the park, and he is holding the back of his knee, and I hate that when you see that, because that is a very delicate area, and he looked for all the world that I don't know, did he get caught?
I think it's the landing on his left knee from Andre.
Yeah,
it's not the actual stretch for the tackle. That part was good. As Andre's landed on him, he's trying to stand up again or get back up again, and
so his knee's braced in an awkward position, isn't it?
It could be anything. I mean, absolutely anything. But he's holding the back of his knee, which never looks good.
No, it doesn't. And he's going to have some treatment now, and it's going to be more added time at the end of the first half, which is going to run on a few minutes, I would have thought. And there's concern on the face of Enzo Maresca, who has a snood pulled up over his mouth. Isn't that cold tonight, actually?
It's not. No.
I haven't even plugged in the heated gilet tonight.
Do you know what? I keep meaning to invest in one, and the heated socks. Do you have heated socks?
No, I used to.
Pants?
No, unnecessary. Going over the top now.
That is for you, yeah.
8 minutes to go before half-time. And Matheus Cunha is just getting a little bit of a pep talk from Vitor Pereira. He actually spoke about him quite a lot in the build-up to the game. I mean, he's the one that makes a difference. He averages more shots, around 3.5 per game, than any other Wolves player in the Premier League. And actually, that's the most that a player has averaged for a Wolves team in 20 years in the top flight. But Pereira did say he needs to be more consistent, and that's not something that is new. A lot of clubs that he's been at, and he's been at a few, have said the same thing about him.
Yeah, the problem is when you're a flair player, I mean, he's not a goal scorer as such, is he? He's more than that. He's got the ability to run with the ball and beat people and be creative, so he's always going to have games where he's better than others, because things come off when you try and be creative, and some days they don't. Sometimes they have less of the ball, and it's hard for him to make things happen.
Caicedo is hobbling, but prepared to come back on here. And
it's a good sign that he's even contemplating it, to be honest, because it looked really bad at first.
Yeah, you hope that he doesn't end up taking a risk. Chelsea play a ball forward, cut out by Ryan Aït-Nouri. Strand Larsen trying to poke it through to Cunha, and then across comes Chalobah again and puts it out on this near side and away for a throw. Well, I think he'll be pretty satisfied with the opening 39 minutes that he's played today, Trevor Chalobah.
He looks like he's moving okay, actually. Oh, maybe not.
We'll follow it. I don't think Chelsea will take any risks.
No.
£100 million player and all that. Chalobah goes out to engage. Then Cucurella goes wiring into a tackle on Aït-Nouri over on the far side. Free kick just on that halfway line.
He's become really important for them, Caicedo, I think.
Yes, I think he's developed into a really good player. You know, obviously he was always... I think he probably came to the fore quicker than they anticipated at Brighton.
Yeah.
Obviously was sold for huge amounts of money. Here's Aït-Nouri trying to dart through the middle of the pitch over on the right side. He gets it back, and then he's in the area now. Comes to Cunha, whose shot is blocked, and it goes into the air.
Do you know what? It was brilliant. It was a great move, but it was just too elaborate in the end. I think Aït-Nouri could have got out his feet and just tried to. He was so close, he could have tried to shoot. Good little play, though, from Wolves to get themselves out. Aït-Nouri getting forward, linking with Matheus Cunha. It's just one pass too many.
Good by Cucurella to get across and block that effort. And Chelsea, who have shown defensive vulnerabilities in recent weeks, just tightening ranks at the back there when it was necessary to do so. 5 minutes before the allotted 45 in the first half, but there'll be a lot more added on here. James has it right side, into Dewsbury Hall, back to James again, up to halfway, and the turn by Palmer kicks him away from Andre. Andre then kicks the back of his legs. That's going to be a free kick. It's going to be a yellow card for Andre as well.
Yep, deservedly so. Great little bit of skill from Cole Palmer. He's fine, but yellow card.
Yeah, all day long.
There's something in this for Wolves. If they have some, if they believe, they've got themselves in some really good positions. And Chelsea haven't been tight. They've been open. They're throwing men forward.
The last thing Chelsea need is Cole Palmer hobbling after being whacked from behind by Andre, who is getting the... he doesn't look comfortable at all, Cole Palmer. No. He's trying to run off that kick, that cynical kick from Andre. And you can only hope that is something that he doesn't end up having trouble with over a longer term. 4 minutes before half-time. And the game has just been punctuated a couple of times, which has taken the sort of momentum out of it. The atmosphere has gone very quiet inside Stamford Bridge as Dewsbury Hall collects it on halfway, looks to turn and find Madueke. That's a foul by Semedo. The referee has allowed play on because Chelsea have the ball. Cole Palmer has picked the ball up and played it out towards the left now, and here is Pedro Neto running towards the edge of the area. Cucurella lifts it into the box, is headed away by Agbadou, further cleared by Andre, back in by Chalobah, and Madueke tries to keep the Chelsea attack alive, but he falls over, loses the ball, and away comes Cunha, and he spotted the run over on the far side of Pablo Sarabia. He tried to play a diagonal ball into the path of the Spaniard, but he just got it all wrong, and it went straight down the middle of the Chelsea half into Robert Sanchez.
Yeah, it was a chance. It was a chance. They wanted to foul Chelsea, but referee didn't give it, and then they were away. As I said, there's spaces there for Wolves. That bit of quality that they've lacked in those final moments. But if they can get to half-time at 1-0 and get in and just reassess, be a bit better with the ball, be a bit better in the final third, they can cause problems. Again, Chelsea giving the ball away.
Jackson this time making a mistake. Caicedo stretching, free kick given, foul on Cunha, and Simon Hooper just resetting the play. It was stretched by Cunha, and it was James who committed the foul on Cunha, who was a little bit theatrical with his dive, but he won the free kick. He's happy enough to do that, and we're approaching the final few minutes of the second half. A first half. The first half that started really brightly for Chelsea, but has just seen the sort of tempo taken out of it the longer it's gone on.
Yeah, they've made a few errors as well in possession, Chelsea. They've given Wolves some help in clawing their way back into this half, because for 15-20 minutes you felt like it could be a really long evening for them.
Sarabia short from the Andre free kick. It's away by Madueke. Might come back out to Andre Gomez. Gomez at the header towards the edge of the area for Cunha to flick on towards the far post, and it drops beyond the post and goes behind and away for a goal kick. So it remains 1-0 to Chelsea live on Talk Sport. And Chelsea have shown that they have still got a little bit of vulnerability at the back of their formation.
The switch has helped Wolves defensively as well, by the way, the manager. Switching the wing backs.
Aït-Nouri going to the right hand side, and
Semedo looking after Madueke. Yeah.
Chelsea trying to play out from the back, succeeding in doing so, but then giving the ball back rather cheaply through James. It was a risky ball out to James, and he tried to do his best with it, but couldn't get it clear. This is João Gomez, lovely little turn into Cunha, chests it down, volleys it goalwards, blocked by Chalobah, comes back out to the edge of the D. Cunha again tries to turn it round the corner, looking for Semedo, and then it's retrieved by Semedo, and then he turns the ball into the box. It's blocked by Dewsbury Hall, and it goes out for a throw into Wolves, who are just getting greater encouragement here the longer the half goes on. There'll be a substantial amount of added time at the end of this first 45. Nicholas Jackson, God knows what he was trying to do there.
No, stupid. Keep the ball.
He's giving it away into Cunha, who's got the return ball through the 6-yard box, blocked by Chalobah, and it was essential that he stood there and fended that ball away from harm's way, because they were queuing up in the middle. And that all came about because Jackson didn't hold on to it.
Yeah, I'm surprised. There's been a few occasions this half, and Matheus Cunha, we all know his quality. He's failed to make that final pass count, even the shot just before, didn't catch it sweet, miskicked it a little bit. Great opportunity that for Wolves, he missed the pullback.
1-0 to Chelsea, ball into the near post, headed away by Nicholas Jackson. Chelsea looking to get out. There's going to be 6 minutes of added time at the end of the first half. Well, there might be more than that.
I thought that was a great opportunity to find one of the men in the box there. He only had to miss the first one.
How much credit do you give Chalobah for getting in front of it?
Brilliant defending, but that's the only one you've got to miss. You either play it behind him, or go over him, whatever you got to do.
Here is Aït-Nouri, far touchline now. 4 Wolves, all in old gold tonight. Attacking the goal away to our left. Santiago Bueno's a favourite of the new manager, sends it long and in behind the Chelsea defence, but Sanchez will come out and claim that right at the perimeter of his penalty area on the left side.
It was actually a good well-intended ball. It wasn't a good execution, because Sarabia has got a lot of space out there with Cucurella going forward so quickly, so often.
Well, the press from Wolves has got a little bit better in the last 10 minutes or so, and it's caused Chelsea a few issues playing out from the back. James has eventually escaped the grasp of Cunha, and he's charging up to halfway, but he couldn't get away from Strand Larsen. And, well, they don't think that's a foul on Wolves' bench, and they are bellowing at the fourth official, Stuart Atwell, and there's going to be a yellow card here, I think, for a member of the Wolves technical team. I think it's the assistant manager who's getting it, yellow card. And that's because they were very unhappy with the award of a free kick on Reece James, who I think was getting himself into another tight knot.
Do you know what, though? He's brilliant at it. He's brilliant at protecting the ball and getting out of tight spots. So comfortable.
Ball sent long towards Madueke. Two defenders go for it. Agbadou hoisted into the air. We're in the right wing position for Chelsea now. And the ball away by Semedo, up to Strand Larsen, collected by João Gomez. He hits it against the chest of Caicedo. And Chelsea, again, we've talked about this so many times, they started brilliantly, They haven't put their foot on the gas, and now they're finding themselves in a situation where, you know, this game is still in the balance.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's hard to play at the tempo they started the game out for 90 minutes, not possible. But when they've gone 1-0 up, that was the time to maybe press home again and keep they just seem to drop off, and also they've given the ball away a bit one too many times, you know, a bit sloppy in their own middle third, a few little flicks and tricks here and there which shouldn't be.
And Chelsea started the weekend as the top scorers in England in all competitions among the 92 Premier League and EFL teams. 80 goals, now 81.
Yeah, but that's not, you're counting Europa,
the Conference League.
Conference League, yeah. So that's not fair.
Those goals don't count, though?
Not really.
No? Okay. Fair enough. Poor old Christopher Nkunku. Most of his goals have come in that competition. Here is Madueke. Is that handball, is he suggesting, on this near side? I think he is. I mean, I don't think he was too enamoured by that decision. He used some quite industrial language towards the fourth official there.
What's the poor fourth official supposed to do when the ref makes a bad decision? Why you shout at him?
Here is the free kick. Agbadou takes it into João Gomez. Just in front of Nicholas Jackson. Out wide on the left is Semedo. Looks to get the better of Madueke. He's done that. He's got into the left wing position. Produced a cross. Easily pushed away by Reece James. Dewsbury Hall in the right fullback position then looks to clear. It takes a deflection off Semedo. Does it? No. It's gone straight out for a throw-in, which Wolves will enjoy here. Coming down this left-hand side, and they're causing problems right at the end of the first half. Semedo into João Gomez, trying to go beyond Dewsbury Hall. Gets down the left-hand side, Dewsbury Hall with a very good tackle, but it goes behind, it's out for a corner to Wolves right at the end of the first half.
He's had a couple of good moments, hasn't he, Gomez, down this left-hand side, using his skill and nicking it past people. It's been a good end to the first half for Wolves.
There's a bit of scrapping going on again in that 6-yard box as Wolves set up for the set piece. Lots of pushes and shoves. I mean, it's so transparent. Nicholas Jackson just pushed Agbadou in the chest, and the referee Simon Hooper has blown his whistle and said, right, I've got to go and sort that out.
No comment. It's just ridiculous.
Here is the corner on the near side. They're still doing it. Cunha into the centre. Goalkeeper tries to push it away. It's scrambled home in front of him by Matt Doherty, and it's 1-1. Wolverhampton Wanderers take advantage of Chelsea clowning around inside their box, pushing, shoving, causing trouble, but forgetting to clear the ball, and Sanchez got caught out by the flight of it, pushed it against the defender, and Doherty profited from the scramble. 1-1.
Well, their good work for the last 10 minutes has given them reward. It's a great ball in from Matheus Cunha. Sanchez, he's dropped it, hasn't he? He's retreating to his line. He's got it in his hands. He drops the ball onto Caicedo's shoulder. It falls to, is it Bueno or Doherty?
It's Doherty who finishes it off.
Yeah, brilliant anticipation from Doherty, but I was trying to give Sanchez the benefit of the doubt before the game, because I think he does some good things, but that is a mistake. It's been a good reaction from Wolves.
Well, the equaliser has come, and Chelsea have once again got themselves in a situation where they cannot keep a clean sheet. And Robert Sanchez, who has had his problems this season, I mean, he actually has had the second best save ratio in the Premier League this campaign.
He does make great saves, doesn't he? But he does make some errors,
yeah. And that is another one. Just getting distracted by all of those shenanigans that were happening in front of him, Danny. And as a result of that, Wolves now are back in the game. And they've got a bit of momentum here as we go into the 7th of 6 added minutes that have been allotted. Down the right they come. The penalty area, and the ball from Cunha is steered behind by Chalobah, and it's out for a corner on the far side.
One of the problems Chelsea keep having is Cucurella keeps going into central midfield and going forward too quickly as well, leaving a big open space down the right hand side. Don't know why he's doing it. Doesn't need to, because they're playing a narrow 3. The space is wide. I don't know why he keeps doing it.
No, here is the corner, and again still more pushing and shoving as the ball goes into the box. This time Sanchez with a bigger hand manages to get it clear. Palmer heads it over the top and away to safety. But Chelsea, after taking the lead of the game, have been pegged back by Matt Doherty after a mistake by Robert Sanchez on the stroke of half-time. And Chelsea's 5 games of frustration shows no sign of coming to an end. It's all square at the break after a good start from Chelsea. It's Wolves who finish the half stronger. It's Chelsea 1, Wolves 1. Thank you very much. Wolves don't like their trips to the capital usually. In fact, they haven't kept a clean sheet in London for nearly 3 years. That's a run now of 23 games. But one thing they have liked is playing at Stamford Bridge. A 4-2 victory here last season. And Wolves are aiming to secure back-to-back league wins at Chelsea for the first time since February 1964, the year of the first Top of the Pops. West Ham winning the FA Cup, the Sun newspaper being published for the first time instead of the Daily Herald, and Goldfinger being the movie of the year. Well, it's the old gold that certainly ended the first half stronger, and Chelsea have got to find a way to get their momentum back, Danny.
Yeah, well, I think the first thing they'll do is try and keep the ball better when they're playing out. And the first thing Caicedo did was give it away, but it's up the tempo. Really get the ball moving more quickly.
Madueke trying to go on the outside of Semedo. Agbadou comes across, puts it out by the corner flag. The 2-11s, Chelsea in blue shirts, blue shorts, white socks, attacking the goal away to our left. The shed end in the second half. Have Sanchez in goal, made the mistake for the equaliser. Reece James, Chalobah, Tosin and Marc Cucurella, who's making his 100th appearance in the Premier League. Dewsbury Hall and Caicedo, and then Palmer in behind Madueke, Jackson and Neto. For Wolverhampton Wanderers, it's old gold from head to toe tonight, shooting to our right hand side with Jose Sarr in pink away to our left, the goalie. It's Doherty, Bueno and Agbadou. Semedo now playing on the left and Aït-Nouri on the right. Andre and João Gomez in the centre. Pablo Sarabia, Matthias Cunha supporting Jürgen Strand Larsen in attack. I don't know if Adrian mentioned it at half-time, but we were told via social media that tonight Alejandro Garnacho's representatives were in the crowd.
Really?
Which was interesting. Not sure how much to read into that, but I'm sure Alex Crook, our chief football correspondent, will update us at some point over the next 24 hours.
Well, I suppose they could look after one of the players in the squad, these two squads.
They might do. Ball switch from left to right, beautifully by Palmer, couldn't be cut out by Semedo, and Madueke goes cantering towards the edge of the box. He tries to force it into the area without any poise really. It bounces off a Wolverhampton Wanderers jersey and is cleared away to halfway. Tosin goes across, great snaffle by him, gets the ball off of Matthias Cunha, wins it back, and Chelsea will look to build. 2.5 minutes gone in the second half. It's 1-1 on TalkSport on this Monday night, with Champions League action and European action to come all week.
See, I'm absolutely baffled by the fact that Wolves are playing this narrow front three, so therefore the space is for Reece James and Cucurella keeps running into central midfield area.
Here is Madueke wide on the right. He is wide. He plays it into the box. Cucurella now trying to link up inside the area. Didn't have the poise to deal with it. Comes back out to Neto, who lifts it into the box. No one's ready to have a shot. Maybe Madueke will here. He hits it straight at Semedo, and it's cleared out of the box by Wolves. James trying to keep it alive. Then on to Caicedo, 10 yards back from the edge of the Wolves area, right side. Then on to Madueke. First time touch into Dewsbury Hall was a little bit, well, it wasn't great really, and it invited a challenge from João Gomes. They've given the ball away, Wolves, and Cucurella's won it back. Then Chalobah in centre circle plays it forward to Neto. Then Palmer takes it on, shrugs off Sarabia.
Brilliant.
Forces it wide into Madueke with good feet. Madueke with a left-footed shot into the arms of Jose Sarr, and it will be cleared away by Wolverhampton Wanderers. 1-1.
3 times early in the second half, Semedo's been one-on-one with Madueke, and his angles have been absolutely brilliant, and his distances. The difference. So comfortable one-on-one defending compared to Aït-Nouri.
Did Semedo take it out of play over on the far side? And the Chelsea fans thought he did. Cunha has been sent away down the left. He's produced a cross which is blocked by Caicedo. Goes behind the way for a corner to Wolverhampton Wanderers, but Chelsea's still smarting from the fact that they believe the ball went out far side.
Good move from Wolves. Brilliant tackle from Caicedo, because he was in for the pass square when Matheus Cunha was in on the left-hand side, and somehow Caicedo managed to match him yard for yard and get his toe on the cross to stop it going into, I think it was Strand Larsen waiting for the shot on the edge of the 6-yard box.
1-1 the score. Here's another corner which Chelsea have already proved vulnerable from once. It's in towards that near post, and this time it goes into the side netting from Matheus Cunha, but he was trying to catch out Robert Sanchez.
I don't think he was, Sam. I think he was trying to put it in the same place they had the goal. It's a really difficult technique because you've got to try and whip it into the near post, and you can get it wrong, of course.
Well, Chelsea wanted to try and play quickly up the field, couldn't do so, but now they have, and then Jackson has been played in down the right-hand side. He hasn't got too many options in the centre, but the offside flag has gone up against him anyway.
It was tight, that. I thought it was a good run from Jackson. Really tight.
5 minutes into the second half. Chelsea boss Senzo Maresca saying in the build-up to this that you can't keep labelling his team as kids. They're young professionals, and he called them to embrace the challenge of ending what is a 5-game winless run. He said they're in their 20s, they've got to deal with it. It's a new situation, but it's their job. They've got to rise to the occasion. Here is Caicedo, deep inside his own half. He did say that he didn't like the fact that January had been full of speculation about players in the squad being linked with moves.
Well, he's managing the wrong club if he's not keen on that, because that happens at every big club in every window.
Certainly happens here. There's quite a lot of speculation about what's going to happen with players at Chelsea. Here is Bueno sending it long and upfield after playing out from the back. Caicedo needed to use his feet a little quicker. Chalobah helps it back to Cucurella, who turns, runs forward for Chelsea, who break down the left now with Neto. Neto getting into an advanced position. Cucurella wanted it played on, but Palmer has dropped back to the edge of the area. He's got it now, runs down the left side of the box, tries a shot, blocked by Doherty, comes back out to Neto. Neto trying to get it back into the area. Comes to Chalobah, who produces a cross into the box, steered away by Agbadou. And then Strand Larsen tussles with Caicedo and comes off the better. Reece James comes across, brushes Cunha aside, then forces the ball into Palmer. Palmer to Cucurella. On the lefty goes Cole Palmer, who hasn't had much freedom to create opportunities in the game so far, but whenever he gets on the ball you expect a little bit of magic to happen.
Beautiful.
There's a little squeeze through to Neto, who gets it back to Cucurella, who lifts the ball to the far post. Madueke underneath it, tries to steer it back to Dewsbury Hall but couldn't find him, and then it comes towards Neto and it hit his shoulder and went into the arms of Jose Sarr.
When Palmer gets the ball, it's just everything stands still. It's like nobody can get near him, and he just takes his time to choose the right pass or the right run, everything he does.
And he fits in London's swankiest borough, doesn't he, Cole Palmer? A high-end footballer who adds a dash of style and swagger. He is only the second player to reach 20 Premier League goal involvements this season, behind Mohamed Salah.
The other thing just a couple of minutes ago as well was, I know I've been eulogising about Reece James, but he looks absolutely physically brilliant. Upper body strength, quickness of feet, good on the ball. I mean, he's brushed Cunha aside, and that is not an easy thing to do, by the way.
Yeah, he absolutely bossed that situation, didn't he? It's a timely reminder of his qualities for Chelsea, who have struggled in keeping just defenders fit this season. I mean, so many of them have been on the sidelines. Wesley Fofana probably going to miss the rest of the season. Buddy Ashill's injured. Disasi's come back from injury, but I don't think he's well thought of. Tonight I mentioned about the number of sheer changes that they've had to make at the back during the last 9 games. It just tells you how disrupted they've been. Sarabia with the free kick from the wide left position. It's from just about 20 yards inside the Chelsea half, and it's straight to Robert Sanchez, who catches it. There's a few ironic cheers there that he caught the ball, and then Madueke, looking to escape, just runs out of room, squeezed out of it, and it's cleared away by Wolverhampton Wanderers. And Chelsea could be doing some deals with clubs in Germany. Renato Vega is one to have been reported to be in discussions with Borussia Dortmund. Kiernan Dewsbury Hall starting tonight has been the subject of speculation. Ben Chilwell, who they're desperate to get rid of because he's on over 200 grand a week, and he hasn't played all season. They haven't used him at all season. Carney Chukwuemeka has played 5 times.
Well, Chukwuemeka I'm a big fan of. I mean, Ben Chilwell's a terrific footballer, but Cucurella's had a good season, to be fair. So they had to make a choice there. So
fair enough. 2 left backs, don't you? If you're playing in all these competitions that Chelsea are playing in,
maybe. Yeah. I mean, who else has been? I mean,
Vega's been playing.
Vega, yeah. Gusto can play there.
And Vega's going to go because he wants to play centre half. Chukwuemeka's only had 5 appearances. They want to get him off the wage bill, and Cesare Casadei is also going to leave, I think, in this window, possibly just on loan. It's very difficult to get them to leave. Here is Madueke into the box. He's surrounded by 3 shirts from Wolverhampton Wanderers. They get it to halfway, but Tosin is there. Strand Larsen and James nipping in, giving it back to Robert Sanchez. Danny.
Well, I feel for him because he's made a mistake, and therefore you're going to feel a little bit nervous for a goalie when he's made a mistake.
Here is Palmer, just left of the centre circle. He runs diagonally into the middle, and again just squeezes it perfectly out to Madueke. Wants to return inside the box. Madueke took too long to give it to him. Comes back to Madueke, swipes at the ball and puts it straight out, playing away for a goal kick. Well, the Chelsea fans behind the goal think that was a corner.
I did initially, but then I looked at Madueke's reaction and he didn't appeal, so he probably got it right. I like his positivity, Madueke. I know he's a little bit inconsistent, but more often than not he tries to go past people, he tries to make things happen, he doesn't always go backwards.
Does it lack a little bit of end product?
Yeah, of course he does, yeah. But he's capable of more than he's showing, that's for sure. We've seen glimpses, but what I'm saying is he doesn't mind failing, and I always think that's a good thing for a winger.
Well, Chelsea might look to their bench if things don't change, because they can't afford to drop more points in the race for the Champions League. Here comes Cunha, nudging it out towards the far side. Semedo gives it back to Cunha, and inside the box flicks it back to Semedo, left edge of the area, looking to attack for Chelsea. They're coming forward here, Wolverhampton Wanderers, in the left wing position. Tackled by Caicedo, gets it out to the right, and now a chance for Jackson to escape, but Agbadou comes across, steps across, and brilliantly takes it forward for Wolverhampton Wanderers.
He's done well, Agbadou.
Chalobah away. James under pressure. Turns, went to clear, then does clear upfield, but to no one in blue. It comes straight back again. And Wolves have possession. You're listening to Chelsea 1, Wolves 1 on TalkSport with Sky Sports, and don't forget that you can stream the biggest Premier League games, available with no contract on now, like Chelsea versus Wolves, live right now. Search Now Sports. Ali McCoist and Jeff Stelling back together tomorrow morning. As the ball goes in behind for Strand Larsen to chase. It just evaded Chalobah for the first time on the night, really. And
it was a long straight ball, wasn't it, really? It skidded up, because I thought he was in for a second, and he skidded up, put pace on it, ended up going back to Sanchez.
Just about into the arms of Sanchez. Neto at the other end, getting booed by the visiting fans. The small contingent of Wolves supporters are away to our left. He held on to it well, then gave it away, and a chance to escape now for Cunha. Cunha, who looks up, and he sees some space for João Gomes, who runs through the centre circle, just the left side of it. Dewsbury Hall goes across to engage with him, but he's beaten by João Gomes. João Gomes keeps going. Dewsbury Hall in the end didn't give up the chase, but became a little bit too clumsy, and then brought him down in an area from where Wolverhampton Wanderers will look to cause some damage. 10 yards short of the edge of the D, left of centre.
He's done well, Gomez. He's got stronger as the game's gone on, got more confident, believing in himself. He's always willing to do the hard yards, but his quality going forward has been really good. Irrelevant of what happens for this Wolves team tonight, they've shown a really good spirit and belief to get back in the game after a couple of bad results.
Chelsea are going to bring on Jadon Sancho. I wonder if he's going to replace Madueke or Neto. If it's Neto, it'll be interesting to see the reaction from the Wolves fan, because he hasn't really done too much tonight, Pedro Neto.
I think he'll be Neto, personally.
He cost 51 million quid. Not sure that he's made the impact that many people hoped when he first turned up.
Well, he had all his best games for me, but generally his best games on the right, I think.
Sarabia with the free kick, headed by Doherty, away by Dewsbury Hall. Chasing it is Nicholas Jackson. Semedo gets it back to his goalkeeper though, no problem. But 24 games in all competitions for Chelsea, 3 goals so far, nice. Not too many assists. And it is going to be Pedro Neto who comes off, and Jadon Sancho who comes on in the next few moments here at Stamford Bridge. Here is Aït-Nouri being faced up by Cucurella. Into João Gomes. Good tackle by Caicedo.
It's brilliant.
On halfway. And now Cucurella comes forward. He's got Palmer. He played it behind Palmer, but does well to dance away from Cunha and feed James, who immediately shifts it on towards the right side. Now Madueke. Chance to cross. In towards Dewsbury Hall. Comes to Cucurella, who sometimes manages to control it and force it home. Cucurella points to his head. Keep the mentality strong, he says. Well, he did that. He kept his cool in front of goal there and managed to bring the ball down and force it into the corner of the net. And Chelsea lead by 2-1.
Well, it all started from a brilliant tackle from Caicedo to give them possession back. And when the ball gets switched out to the right, Cucurella thinks, I'm going. We've seen him do it before. It's a brilliant ball in. And it's a little touch, I think, from Dewsbury Hall. In-swinger from the right from Madueke. A little flick from Dewsbury Hall. Just takes it away from Bueno, I think. And Cucurella, as he's falling, manages to get his right foot onto it and stab it into the corner. But it's a super ball.
Good flick by Dewsbury Hall. Chested down by Cucurella. And then he's in the air and trying to volley the ball. He's stretching to do so. And he manages to squeeze it in. And he is absolutely delighted. Goal number 3 of the season on his 100th Premier League appearance. And he has his goal, and Chelsea are back in front. Marc Cucurella. Sancho on for Neto is the confirmed substitution. And Chelsea now have got to not allow Wolves back into the game. Neto and Maresca have a hug on the near touchline, a little bit of a chat. I think he's a little bit disappointed that he's not going to see out the game, but that's the way it goes, I'm afraid. If you're not producing in this team, there's someone willing to take your place, and certainly Sancho has had a productive first half of the season for Chelsea. He's on the ball now, dribbling with it, playing it down the left side into the feet of Nicholas Jackson. Jackson into Dewsbury to Palmer, who tries to get beyond João Gomes, who stood up strongly, and it's worked towards the far side, and Semedo. 2-1 to Chelsea, live on TalkSport on this Monday night, and the goal coming from Cucurella, who actually, we sort of bemoaned the fact that he was coming into midfield and central areas, but his run there was perfectly timed.
Well, his run there was from a left-back area, because he actually was one of the first to get the ball after they won it back. And he was in the left-back area, switched it inside, and then as soon as the ball got switched to the right, he got himself into a centre-forward position. What I was talking about earlier was more when they're building up to come out wide.
Here is Chalobah moving up towards the left-hand side. Sancho on the touchline, looking to try and trick his way past Aït-Nouri.
comes infield. He's got more room for Chalobah down the left. Chalobah then into Caicedo, then Cucurella, and Chelsea keeping the ball with a little bit more confidence now. What they don't want to do is take the foot off the gas like they did after the first goal.
Yeah, absolutely. And also in recent event, losing leads in games recently, that'll be on the mind the longer the game goes on.
Manage it out, press home the advantage, get 3 points and move on to the next one, because Chelsea have got a busy period upcoming, and Manchester City away is next Saturday night, West Ham at home, a double bit of Brighton at the Amex in League and Cup, and then Aston Villa and Southampton to come. That is quite a hefty fixture list for Chelsea. Ball up towards Nicholas Jackson, away by Doherty, collected by Cucurella. There's space on the far side, but Sancho manages to squeeze it through to Jackson despite a congested left side of the box where Chelsea are attacking. Jackson is pushed out towards the near side, but he tricks his way past Aït-Nouri, and then Aït-Nouri gives away a free kick just in front of the corner away to our left-hand side. So Chelsea are going to have almost like a short corner here to be able to craft something.
Important for Wolves to defend well now and try and stay in this game, rebuild their confidence and their rhythm. They were doing okay.
Well, Palmer is about to take it. Sancho and James are in close conversation on this near side. Tosin Adarabioyo has come over for a chat. Again, he's sort of almost the one who's calling the plays in the middle of the park, tells Palmer where he wants it, and then they orchestrate how they're going to attack this set piece. He moves towards the back edge of the penalty area. 65 gone on TalkSport. Chelsea 2, Wolves 1. And here comes the free kick, which is delivered towards the back post. It's headed down by Chalobah and nodded in by Madueke on the line. Chalobah celebrates, but it's Madueke's goal. Chelsea 3-1 up. And recently this place has been the Bridge of Sighs, but maybe tonight there'll be some light relief. Madueke makes it 3-1 Chelsea with 25 to go.
Set plays. It's a basic ball to the back post. You've got to get up, win your headers. It's not got off the floor. I think he's saying he's fouled there. Semedo, isn't it? Out jumped by Chalobah. It's a brilliant header from Chalobah. Madueke. I don't know what. It was already going in.
Well, it was a brilliant header by Trevor Chalobah, down and across the goalkeeper, and Madueke just made sure on the line.
Oh, yeah.
Chalobah will probably be a little bit upset about the fact that he's come home. He's played quite well in the game, thought he'd scored what would have been the clincher, but Madueke has nabbed it. But that's just being professional from Madueke. No sentiment attached. He's all about making sure that Chelsea get in front and get firmly in front. They're in the lead now by 3-1.
Yeah, you do all that hard work, you try and stay in the game if you're Wolves and be a threat yourself, and you just get done by stupid things. It's so difficult for a manager to get players to stay focused and do the correct things on set plays. He's just been out-jumped. He didn't even get off the floor.
But they never do the correct things on set plays. They've conceded 19 goals from set plays. They've conceded 2 from set plays tonight. It's a habitual thing with Wolverhampton Wanderers.
But I get it more if you're out-jumped while you're jumping by someone who just gets there before you, but you're both in the air and you're really trying to hustle and bustle, and it's just flat. It's concentration, be on your toes, be ready as the ball's coming in. It's just a stab. It's a nice little drill to the back post.
So what is that then? Is that just desire? Is that positioning? Is that concentration? What is it?
I think it's sometimes concentration, sometimes fatigue. Desire could come into it, yeah.
Because they've conceded 51 goals now in the Premier League, which is the most of anyone in the division.
Yeah.
And
a lot of stupid ones.
19 of them have come from set plays.
Set plays is personal pride, not wanting to be the one who makes the mistake or gets out-muscled or out-jumped. It's about your own personal pride to do the job. And that means being concentrated on your toes, being determined. And you've got to jump. You have got to get off the floor.
Chelsea lead 3-1. And the scoreline looking a little bit more satisfactory for those inside the Stamford Bridge complex, wearing blue tonight. A lot of them actually not showing their blue kits, they're wearing big coats. Here is Jadon Sancho down the left hand side, played in by Cucurella. He gets towards the left edge of the Wolves penalty area, cuts back in on his right foot, produces a cross which takes a deflection into the air. Sancho trying to keep hold of it, and he's done very well to do so. Gets into the box now, still wriggling with the ball at his feet, causing all sorts of chaos. Wolves had to double up on him. Eventually they force it clear, and it comes back to Palmer just 10 yards outside the box left hand side. He turns away from João Gomez, but João Gomez commits a foul. That's going to be a free kick 15 yards back from the edge of the D. It's 3-1 to Chelsea, and you're listening to Talk Sport, and it's live coverage of the Premier League with Enterprise Rent-A-Car, whatever the mission, home or away. Enterprise helps over 120,000 people every day. As Simon Hoop was just speaking to Reece James, again having to play the diplomat. Madueke is saying that João Gomez should be given a yellow card there. The referee still in conversation, and it's going to be a free kick which eventually I think Cole Palmer will take control of. 65% of the ball Chelsea, 18 goal attempts, 7 shots on target. That's been the way of things. 3.09 expected goals tonight, and they have delivered pretty much what they are expected to. Palmer standing over the free kick then. It's just a shade, a step left of centre. 13 yards back from the edge of the D. High line from Wolves, just on the edge of the box. They're holding the 18-yard line here. Chelsea just drip it in towards Chalobah. It's headed away, and it goes straight to Cunha, who looks to escape, and he's not going to escape because Caicedo's rugby tackled him. Yellow card.
I think it's really big. 20 minutes for Chelsea. Shouldn't be a problem seeing this game out, but they have struggled doing that in recent weeks. So keep the ball well, don't retreat, stay nice and positive without being cavalier.
I think one of the major pluses is Reece James, as you've already pointed out. Enzo Maresca singled him out for plays in the week. He only has played 31 league games during the last 2.5 seasons, Danik.
Yeah, it's a huge shame to see such a wonderful talent not be out there so often, because he's just got everything you need. I mean, he could be a massive player for Thomas Tuchel's England, couldn't he, moving forward?
Yeah, he's only 25 years of age. Jose Sarr dribbling with the ball to the edge of his own penalty area under pressure from Jackson. James with a header back down into the right wing position, which Agbadou is going to get hold of. He has then given the ball back to Chelsea, and Dewsbury Hall has been fouled over on the far side by João Gomez. Free kick to Chelsea, right on the touchline over on the far side. Simon Hooper going across just to sort of explain procedure to Reece James, and another dead ball which Wolves have got to try and deal with. A couple of changes incoming from Wolves. Is that Rodrigo who's about to come on? Rodrigo Gomez.
Who scored Chelsea's first goal? I've had a complete blank.
Tosin Adarabioyo.
Oh, of course he did, yeah.
It was a long time ago, Dan.
Yeah, it was, yeah. You know. So there's been a lot gone on since then.
Yes, absolutely. Here is the free kick, far side the right. James to whip it in right-footed. Chalobah at the far post. It's aimed in towards the near post. It comes out on the edge of the box. Doherty with the header. Kept alive by Dewsbury Hall. Sancho helps it on. It's collected by Nicholas Jackson. And then sent back towards James. And then Caicedo. And then he flicks the ball over to Cole Palmer, who's 10 yards inside his own half, who then finds his goalkeeper. Andre Sarabia and Ryan Aït-Nouri all about to come off for Bellegarde, Guedes and Rodrigo Gomez in the next few moments for Wolverhampton Wanderers. So significant changes for the away team, who are going to try and spice up their performance here and try and drag themselves back into the game, because it has gone a little bit flat since that third goal.
To be honest, for Chelsea, the flatter it goes, the better for them. They don't want drama. The latter stages of that Fulham game was end-to-end, wasn't it?
Yes, it was, and there were 2 goals up in that game and contrived to somehow not walk away with 3 points. So, and the same with the Bournemouth game. So no one's taking anything for granted at Stamford Bridge tonight. Here is Palmer turning away. I think actually the best recipe for Chelsea is to put their foot to the floor and try and get another goal, because then it can kill off any spirit that Wolves might have, or any notion that they might have of trying to get back into the game. Cucurella, Sancho, and then Chalobah. It's good to see Sancho playing, isn't it?
Yeah. Moves so nicely with the ball.
He does. He looks happy as well, doesn't he?
Yeah.
You know, that was a poor ball forward out to the far side, and then Madueke couldn't control it. They're the 3 changes incoming. Rodrigo Gomez, Bellegarde and Guedes coming on.
Triple substitution for Wolves.
But yeah, it's good to see him back in the fold, playing football on a regular basis. I mean, Chelsea probably will end up completing a permanent deal for him at the end of the season, you would have thought.
Yeah.
Because I think that was built into the contract in some way, shape or form.
Well, his body language is good as well.
Yeah.
You know, it's sharper, more positive, more risks in his game.
I still hear that the alarm clock needs a new battery, but I think they're putting up with that and getting the best out of him.
Well, yeah, you know what? That's a bit sad to hear, because the great thing about making mistakes is learning from them, and if he is still doing that, then that's a bit of a concern. But right now, judge him on the pitch, he's looking sharp, he's doing good things, and had a positive season really so far.
Caicedo into the air. The ball drops down inside the centre circle. It's helped up towards Cole Palmer, dropped down,
did well,
and the feet of João Gomez, who controlled it beautifully and played it out to the left, and Semedo, he runs forward but is tracked by James. James had a little kick out of him at him there, and it gives away the free kick just in from the touchline over on the far side. 3-1 Chelsea. Talk Sport on a Monday night, and a bit of activation work going on the touchline, because Axel Disasi and Malagusto about to come on for Chelsea. I think that's João Felix getting ready as well, so Chelsea about to make a triple change. Here is Cunha over on the far side, looking to get to the edge of the penalty area. Flicks the ball into the centre, looking for Strand Larsen. Might come towards him, doesn't do so. And then as Cunha sends it back again, it goes out of play. Side of the goal.
Brilliant header from Chalobah. It's a great little ball from Matheus Cunha. He's on the left-hand side and tries to sneak one. Little curly cross into the gap, but he reads it well again, Chalobah. He's been excellent.
James comes off. Malagusto comes on. Axel Disasi comes on as Chelsea just rejigged the back line, and they're protecting Reece James here, and
don't blame them.
James going over and giving the captain's armband to Caicedo, and very visibly saying to him, protect this lead. Lauren James, his sister, high up in the box here at Stamford Bridge in the West Stand opposite us, it's clapping away. I'm sure she's pretty pleased to see him back. We'd love to see her back as well before the end of the season. Not sure that's going to be the case or not, but James comes off, gives a wave to the crowd. Malagusto comes on in his place. Axel Disasi comes on for Kiernan Dewsbury Hall, so a slight little move around. Cucurella going into midfield, yes, and Malagusto going to left back, Disasi going to right back, Cucurella going into midfield alongside Caicedo. There's the changes from Enzo Maresca. Currently Chelsea 3, Wolves 1, and for the latest odds you can head to Ladbrokes, where right now you can get Chelsea at 1,000 to 1 on to win the game. 28 to 1 the draw, and a Wolves comeback 90 to 1. That's all thanks to Ladbrokes, 18 plus begambleaware.org. Ball lifted into the back line, away by Agbadou, who looks like a decent signing for 12 and a bit million quid.
Absolutely. They've done some good things, Wolves.
To be honest with you, Gary O'Neill was looking at him and trying to get them to sign him in the summer.
Oh, okay.
Agbadou. Eventually they pulled the trigger on it, got the deal done. He's offside, Jackson. He's racing away behind the defence, gets into the penalty area, turns it home, puts it into the net, but the flag goes up immediately. He has gone 5 games without a goal, has Nicholas Jackson. And on this occasion he just timed his run poorly. He was about a yard or so in front. They are checking the disallowed goal, but they don't need any VAR help there. And that goal's going to be well chalked off. Simon Long over on the far side, the assistant, quite correct to flag there, Danny.
Yep, just went a tad early. Good defending actually. He saw that he went and stepped a yard, didn't he? So
what time are you getting up in the morning, by the way? Early, or are you having a lay-in?
no, I'm actually playing golf for a friend's birthday tomorrow.
Oh yeah, what time's that? Nice and early?
10 to 9 tee off.
Okay, all right, okay. Well, on your way to the golf course, you can stick on TalkSport Breakfast. You'll be pleased to know that the Rangers skipper, James Tavernier, is on the breakfast show.
I am pleased to know that, yeah.
Ali McCoist and Jeff Stelling tomorrow morning. Get a little dose of that before you tee off tomorrow. Here is Cunha. Through the legs of Sancho, in towards Rodrigo Gomez, who pulls it back to the edge of the area, couldn't find Guedes, and it's cleared away. Now it's picked up by Madueke, who runs straight into João Gomez. Guedes turns it over, runs to the edge of the box, lays it off towards Semedo. Caicedo has to be very careful there, because he went clattering into a challenge. It comes back towards Cunha, whose effort is flicked away with the right fingers of Sanchez. It's got to go out for a corner.
It is a corner.
Eventually, the fourth official has told him that it's a corner, and it goes out for a corner because the assistant on the near side didn't give it, and Simon Hooper didn't give it. It was so obviously a corner, it was untrue.
Maybe let's give him the benefit of the doubt. We hammered him enough. His angle might have been difficult.
Okay. Corner far side.
We got the right decision, didn't we?
We did get the right decision. That's what it matters. And sometimes these referees have to work as a team.
Yeah.
And they did.
Although they're not. I didn't realise the fourth official were allowed to tell the refs that they just watched the replay.
It might have been. It might have been the other one. It might have been an assistant. Let's just pretend it was. Either way, it is a corner to Wolves, and it's the right decision with 10 minutes to go.
He has to try and let the game go, to be honest.
I think he's a good referee.
Yeah, I do. I think he's a good ref. I don't like this, as you know, but not just him, with any of the refs, this constant talking to everybody on set plays.
Here's the corner in towards the near post, and it's headed away by Tosin, and out over on the far side, and Cunha looks to retrieve it again. Back in it goes. It's headed away by Chalobah this time. Big header from the edge of the box, and then back down the right for Guedes to chase. Malagusto comes across. Guedes, well, he just sort of thumped it, and it went into the air and spoons the Matthew Harding stand away to our right, where the noisiest Chelsea fans are, and it's going to be a free goal kick away to our right hand side. By the way, if you want to have your say on tonight's footballing action or anything else, the sports bar open for business. Jamie O'Hara and Jermaine Pennant tonight. 03717223344. Cundy's here, isn't he? I see him earlier on. Oh, right.
Yep.
Okay. Moonlighting tonight, is he?
He comes to every Chelsea
He
game,
does,
doesn't he?
yes, he does, yeah. He'll be back tomorrow. And João Felix about to come on for Madueke in the next few moments for Chelsea as they look to try and get over the line here. Remember, Chelsea was second on December the 15th, but even in the run that they had where the 5 games were of the without a win, there were signs that things weren't all bad. They actually had more shots per game than they had done previously. The problem is that they've just been having low quality shots, and that was one of their biggest issues, and obviously giving away advantages. They have undeniably been a little bit unfortunate with injuries in those sort of central defensive areas, and that's why it's a good thing that Chelsea now able to bring on another one of their talented youngsters. They're going to bring, I think that's Tyreek George into play, the left winger. He's going to come on as well. No Premier League appearances. This will be his Premier League debut tonight, but he has made 9 appearances in cup competitions. Felix and George coming on, Madueke and Jackson coming off. Here is Semedo into the box.
Good ball.
Looking for Rodrigo Gomez. A challenge on the edge of the box by Caicedo, who, by the way, did get away with a bit of a dodgy challenge on the edge of the box just before that corner.
He did, but he's been outstanding since that little lull with the injury in the first half that he just took him a while to.
But on another day, if that had gone against him, he could have been sent off there.
Yeah.
João Gomez feeding it to Strand Larsen down the left side of the box. He strikes it towards goal, stopped by the goalkeeper Robert Sanchez.
Well, Mateus Cunha is absolutely fuming that he didn't try and cross it, but I'm more disappointed in his touch. His touch should have been ahead.
Cunha with a decent touch in towards Guedes. Guedes trying to get it to come down, but it wouldn't come down for him. It's cleared away by Disasi and out on this near side. Now it's Guedes again into the box. Tosin into the air, but it's not clear by Chelsea. They don't want to invite late pressure here. There's a foul on Malagusto. But Chelsea again getting into that situation where they're just switching off and inviting pressure.
Well, I mean, to be honest, Wolves opened them up with some really good play, Sam. It was really good play. But when Strand Larsen gets in, if he just takes it straight, he can then be on an angle. So he's inside left position, maybe as far out, just inside the 6-yard line, if you like, going towards that. He could have had a better angle to shoot. His touch takes him towards the corner flag. And then he's got an impossible angle where the keeper's going to save it.
Well, they've changed their mind. They've taken Cole Palmer off instead of Jackson, and they're going to take off Madueke for Tariq George. So they are the two changes. Madueke on the score sheet tonight, converting the third of Chelsea's 3 goals. They lead by 3 goals to 1 going into the final 6.5 minutes of the game. A game which they are trying to kill, that keep just having to react to Wolves coming at them again.
Oh, unlucky.
Lovely touch by Sancho, almost fed João Felix down this left-hand side. Rodrigo Gomez has just gone spiralling to the floor. Chalobah's mopped up for Chelsea. Gusto gets it back to the goalkeeper, and he will clear. Up, down towards the left, taken on by Sancho. Sancho motors forward. He's got João Felix in front of him. He kept hold of the ball there, then puts it through the legs of Bellegarde, who reaches out an arm, brings him down, gives the free kick. Simon Hooper.
Got a bit lucky there, Sancho. Did some brilliant things on that little dribble, but then just got a bit lucky because he wasn't getting the ball once he tried to make him.
It was a little bit cheeky, wasn't it? He put it through the legs and tried to go around the other side, but the hand come out from Jean-Rickner Bellegarde and he went to ground.
If that was a foul when Gaza was playing, he'd have never been able to dribble past anyone. Took a couple of elbows at him.
Did you?
Yeah, you know when he does the close pressure
and puffed his chest out, didn't he? And then he's used his arm, sort of
brilliant
way to propel himself forward. What a player he was in his day. Yeah. 3-1 is the Chelsea score with 4 minutes to go. Chelsea with Manchester City and West Ham to come in the next couple of weeks. Arsenal next for Wolverhampton Wanderers, then Aston Villa in the big West Midlands derby, Blackburn away in the Cup, Liverpool, Bournemouth and Fulham to come. Crikey, they might have some problems upcoming, Wolverhampton Wanderers. Here on the right side, Tariq George trying to get into an advanced position, has to turn and give it back to Mark Cucurella, another scorer of a Chelsea goal tonight. George into Caicedo, Cucurella down the right, Agbadou comes across, watched it all the way, slid in perfectly and nudged it out and away for a throw-in. Well, this performance from Chelsea, especially in the second half, not to be sniffed at.
I think with Chelsea, we've seen tonight what we already knew in many ways, is they have moments, as Aid said, after, in the games where they're brilliant and play with a really good creativity and temper, but they are
inconsistent
and easy to get chances against because they're so wide open.
Well, it will be their first Premier League win since before Christmas, if they can see it through here. You'd expect them to, with 3.5 minutes to go. Here is Malagusto into Caicedo. Caicedo finds João Felix. Bit of room for him to operate just in front of the centre circle, dead centre of the Wolves half. He plays it into Gusto, then on to Sancho. Sancho, who's got Gomez snapping at his heels, but he keeps hold of the ball well. Into João Felix again. Back to Gusto, and then Gusto all the way back to the halfway line where Tosin will see it into safety. And Chelsea will keep the ball moving over on the far side. This is Tosin Adarabioyo again. 87 minutes gone. Chelsea looking to run down the clock here. Big ball out towards the right-hand side by Tosin. Tariq George is in an offside position apparently. Gives away a free kick. He's only 18 years of age, is Tariq George, another one to come through the Chelsea academy, and they've had Quite a few England qualified players on the pitch tonight, Chelsea, haven't they, over time?
Great to see.
You think that they've brought on Tyreek George and they've brought on Jadon Sancho. They had 6 that could start the game that could play for England. That's 8 players that have played for Chelsea tonight that could qualify for Thomas Tuchel's team. Here is Felix. Out to Jadon Sancho. Back infield to Gusto. Caicedo wants it, gets it, runs off Cunha, moves towards the edge of the box, looks to feed it down the left channel for Jackson. Went a bit early there, Jackson. That's cleared away anyway because Wolves defended it well. Gusto heads it out, goes out for a throw on this near side, right on the touchline, right hand side.
I've got to say that the Gomez in the middle of the park for Wolves has put in a hell of a shift.
João Gomez, yeah.
He's had a really good game. Hasn't stopped, never got deflated, kept doing the right things, kept working.
Cucurella, he's had a good game as well, winning the ball back in midfield.
Well, he's recovered. He didn't. He had a poor first half hour, but he's recovered because the goal helped him and his confidence in the second half. But yeah,
come to the fore in the second half.
That's what good players do, though, isn't it? They get over a bad half of football quickly.
5 minutes of added time. Tyreek George got a yellow card there. Not entirely sure what for. Here is João Felix just keeping hold of possession. So Chelsea got 6 minutes to see it out. It's going to send them back into the top 4 this. Wolverhampton Wanderers have now conceded more goals than anybody else in the Premier League. There's certainly some gaps to plug for Vitor Pereira. And I mentioned the games they've got coming up. And they could find themselves in a really tricky situation in the next few weeks. Especially, look, if they can't defend set pieces, God knows how they're going to get on against Arsenal.
That's their biggest problem right now. They have to sort that out. Some of their games have been good. Their play, they've made some good chances.
Cunha flicking it into Strand Larsen, gets the wrong side of the defender. His shot shoveled straight into the arms of Sanchez.
He was just nudged as he kicked that, but it's still a poor effort. Good play again. Found himself in a little position.
Caicedo accelerates beyond Semedo, who tripped him, and he's going to get a yellow card. It's just an unnecessary little clip of the ankle from Nelson Semedo, a cynical challenge, and it's going to result in a free kick to Chelsea and a booking.
Yeah, well, as I was saying, Wolves have played some good stuff. They do. They always have when we watch them. And in open play, they've defended okay. You know, they've struggled for defenders. They've opened them up a few times, but set plays is what's the words?
It'll kill you.
Yeah, well, it'll relegate you if you carry on conceding set plays this way.
Listen, the issue they've got is that they are much better in attack than any of the teams at the bottom of the table.
Yeah, they are.
But they cannot defend, and that is a huge issue. Here is Malo Gusto speeding forward, playing it out to the left. Sancho now getting into the box. He's got Doherty to beat. He goes into the area, feeds Nicholas Jackson, who fires wide.
It's unlucky.
12 yards out. He hit it first time. He was just a little bit wide of the goal when it came to him, and he hit it straight, and it was just short of the upright. They've won it back through Caicedo. Into Gusto. Cucurella. Now Felix moves up towards the edge of the area. Jackson now inside the box, wants it. Agbadou steps across him and does well and brings it out on this near side.
Well done.
Up to Strand Larsen, who holds off Chalobah, feeds the ball into the left side of the Chelsea half. Bellegarde joins the attack. Wolves now have conceded 51 goals, but their games have been entertaining. Another 4 goals tonight means that their matches, 83 goals, more goals in their games than any other matches in the Premier League this season. And one more would be mean that they are the recipients of an unwanted record should they concede again here, Wolves.
What a touch.
Rodrigo Gomez down the right hand side, ball into the box. Caicedo on the cover again, and he gets the ball away from the 18-yard box and clears it out for a throw-in.
It's another good move from Wolves. You know, these are the type of positions they get themselves in regularly. Okay, the final ball's not been that great, but they get themselves in really good positions. It's the only positive really he's going to take from tonight is some of their football's been really good.
But they're losing 3-1.
Yep.
And losing again, conceding another 3 goals again. Ball down the side of the Chelsea penalty area. Malagusto steps across Guedes. Guedes comes away with the ball, and then he's adjudged to have fouled.
The line will give it.
Malagusto, and the free kick is...
Can you call them linos anymore?
No, you're not allowed to. It's assistant referees now. You should know that, really.
Lino?
No, it's assistant referee. The problem is if you try and shorten the first bit of the assistant word in the same manner, you could get yourself in all sorts of trouble. Wolves on course to concede 87 Premier League goals this season, which is higher than any other team to have survived relegation in a 38-game Premier League season. Only Wigan and Leeds have conceded over 2 goals a game in a 38-game Premier League season and not been relegated. I think that sort of underscores the issue that is facing them. And it's going to be just 2 wins in 10 after tonight. And it started so positively after the new broom came in, but after a quick sweep of the cobwebs, Vitor Pereira has discovered there is a lot more to do to get this Wolves team polished and up to scratch. Foul on Malagusto. Free kick to Chelsea. We played 3.5 of the 5 that are added at the end of the game.
Set plays need a real polish.
Here is Sancho down the left-hand side into João Felix, who's trying to trick his way past João Gomez. João Gomez comes away with the ball. It's cleared up to Guedes. Malagusto trying to put the pressure on. Cucurella still running, hunting the ball high up inside Wolves territory, down the left-hand side. Chelsea pinning Wolves in, trying to just get up towards the 95-minute mark and ensure that they go back into the top 4 positions. They'll be delighted that they are going back up there tonight. And Wolverhampton Wanderers will be level on points with Ipswich, but have a significant goal advantage. Although, saying that, it's 19 now that they've lost. It's only 4 between them and Ipswich as Nicholas Jackson goes into the box and he's upended by Jose Sarr, but the referee had already blown the whistle. And Simon Hooper just checking on the prognosis here. The whistle had gone, I think, when Jackson went running towards the edge of the 6-yard box. The two sort of collided, sort of sandwiched him really, and he went spiralling into the air. He's back on his feet now. What do you make of his performance tonight?
I think he's done some good things. What I love about him is his endeavour. He can constantly making runs and working for his team with and without the ball. That I love about him. And he would be really difficult to play against. That's why he plays him all the time.
Chelsea rediscovered the winning feeling with a hard-fought win over Wolverhampton Wanderers. It takes Enzo Maresca and the Blues back into the top 4 and condemns Wolves to a 3rd straight defeat. It's a defeat that leaves Vitor Pereira and his team hovering precariously above the relegation zone. And with tough fixtures to come, the job of keeping Wolverhampton Wanderers in the Premier League is not getting easier. Chelsea survive a Sanchez scare and get goals from Tosin, Cucurella and Madueke to beat Wolverhampton Wanderers by 3-1.